course, there's nothing new right here about the whole, citizenship with Africa. We've mentioned it a few times, but Ghana has made the news. Ghana has made the news about citizenship over and over in the nation as well too. So I want to go ahead and touch up on that real quick. Just went live on YouTube, so I want to give a shout out to all my people that's joining us over there on the YouTube. Shout out to all you guys when you get up in the space over there on YouTube. Make sure you guys go ahead and like, share, subscribe, leave a comment for the night's broadcast as well too. Shout out to all my people over here on X/Twitter. What's up, Miss Tony? I see you up there. Benjamin Nappy, Rock, Val. Shout out to everybody that's up in the space tonight. Guys, make sure you go ahead and retweet the space out. Let everybody know that we're live, that we're in the space tonight. So let everybody know that we're live. We're streaming this on StreamYard, simulcast on Twitter, X, as well as YouTube, guys. So shout out to all of you guys tonight. 2025, the first Newstoter /space broadcast podcast for the 2025 year. So glad to be back. Give a shout out to all my people. It's been a little minute, but I know everybody's been holding it down as well too. So shout out to all you guys up in the space tonight. Shout out to all you guys up in the space. I know you guys, like I said, the whole thing. I think I gave you DJ. I thought I sent you the co-host invite. Okay, so I see it now. I see now that you got it. What's up, Andre? I see you up in here as well, too. What's up, DJ? Let me know. Some of you guys, just make sure, because they did have an update today as well, too. So make sure you update your phones if you're over here on the Twitter side of things, and you're up in the space trying to listen, because they did have an update for the Android users. I can't say for the people on the iPhones, but for the Android users, there was an update today as well too. So shout out to all the family. I know you guys are this should be a pretty interesting discussion as well too. Shout out to QT. I see QT up in the spot as well too. DJ, what's up with the audio? Can you hear me all right? What's up? I see my boy Arinza just made it up in here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, DJ, like I told everybody coming up in the space, I had mistakenly had the thing scheduled for tomorrow night. So I hope people, I'm like, damn, like, and I just paid attention right before the space started. I'm like, why isn't it showing me? And I'm like, oh, Lord, let me go ahead and change this thing up as well, too. But yes, guys, we got a space tomorrow night and podcast tomorrow night as well, too. But I had to touch up on the citizenship thing with Ghana. DJ, what's up? I see my girl Rella just made it up in here too as well. So shout out to Rella. What's up, Miss Rella? I see you up in here. I'm gonna go ahead real quick. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna touch up on this article and get things rolling. This is from the Sacramento Observer, and we can go ahead and we can get the conversation flowing early and often. Shout out everybody on in the space. Make sure you retweet the space out. What's up, Rella? Guys over there on YouTube, go ahead and share it to all your social media platforms as well, too. Give us a like for the night. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not. Remember that Newstoter.com is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. And here we from the Sacramento Observer. It says, titled, Come Home, Ghana told the African diaspora now some Black Americans take as citizenship. Flipping through a family album, is Akeisha Bowers pausing a photo of her as a baby on her father's lap as he held a 1978 album, Africa Stand Alone, by the Jamaican reggae band Culture. When I was 10 years old, I was supposed to come to Ghana with him, she said a day earlier. She said marked 10 years since her father's death. Though he was a Pan-African who dreamed of visiting Ghana, he never made it there. Bowers and her husband, Damon Smith, however, among the 524 diaspora members, mostly Black Americans, who were granted Ghanaian citizenship in a ceremony in November. Bowers and Smith moved to Ghana from Florida in 2023 after visiting the region several times between them since the 1990s. They now run a tour business that caters to Black Americans who want to visit Ghana or elsewhere in West Africa, or like them, have come to consider a permanent move. The November group was the largest one granted citizenship since Ghana launched the Year Return program aimed at attracting the Black diaspora in 2019. It marked the 400 years since the first African slaves arrived in Virginia in 1619. Ghana's Tourism Authority and the Office of Diaspora Affairs have extended the program into Beyond the Return, which fosters the relationship with Diasporians. Hundreds have been granted citizenship, including people from Canada, UK, and Jamaica. Bauer said moving to Ghana gave her family a certain feeling of ease they didn't have in the U.S. When we see Trayvon Martin, Sandra Bland, all the stories of people being murdered just in their home, living in their home, and being murdered at the hands of police brutality, hearing about it creates trauma, she said. She's also worried about her son, 14. Her son towers over her loved ones in a way that lanky teenage boys often do. He is shy but opens up around his younger sister, 11, and the family's dog. In America, being a black male with locks who's very tall for his age, he is treated like a threat, Bauer said. Americans face few obstacles living in Ghana, with most people paying an annual residency fee. But Bauer said getting citizenship signified more than simply living in Ghana. I didn't need citizenship to tell me that I'm African. Anywhere that I go in the world and someone looks at me, I'm melanated, she said. But my ancestors who wanted to return and come back home, those ancestors who never made it back, she said, that passport for me is for them. Between 10 to 15 million people were forcibly taken from Africa to the Americas during the transatlantic slave trade, the majority from West and Central Africa. Ghana, then a British colony known as the Gold Coast, was a main point of departure. As memorials to the slave trade became tourist destinations across West Africa, painful reminders of its brutality are easily accessible. From Ghana to Senegal to Benin, one can visit variations of the Door of No Return, haunting doorways that open to the Atlantic Ocean where slaves left Africa and their families for the last time. The joy that people feel in finding connections that were broken long ago is palpable. Videos of recent citizenship ceremonies show men and women of all ages waving Ghanaian flags and cheering. Deja Gordon, 33, was one of them. I first visited Ghana in 2015. From then on, I knew this is a place that I wanted to be, and a place where I wanted to show other Diasporians, African Americans, that we have a place where we belong, she said. She moved from Brooklyn to Ghana in 2019 and opened up a jerk food truck selling Jamaican food. Between bagging to-go orders and speaking to Black American tourist couples, she explained how she built the business from scratch. Gordon was giddy while recalling the moment she got citizenship. It just feels good to have a connection to the African country as an African American, as a Black American, because back in America, we don't have anything to trace our roots to but Africa. To have that connection here, I feel like I've done something right, she said. Like Bowers, Gordon has had a stream of people reaching out and asking about citizenship process. The path is not clearly defined. Citizenship must come from a concession from Ghana's presidency, a process made legal under the 2000 Citizenship Act is granted to those residing in Ghana who have told the Office of Diaspora Affairs that they are interested in citizenship. Ghana's government, in part, describes the program as a benefit to the economy and focuses on investment opportunities for those wishing to relocate. The local nonprofit Migration Advocacy Center said through the government emphasizes the economic angle. The real benefits of citizenship are intangible. I don't think recipients were crying because they have landed a gold mine or they found oil or some kind of business opportunity, but it's something so relieving which you cannot put the value or price on. Festus, who head of the Migration Advocacy Center, said, President Nana administration, which launched the year of return, is on its way out. Ghana's main opposition party won the presidential election on December 7. But Osun said Black Americans and other diaspora citizens are likely to continue receiving citizenship by a presidential concession. Citizenship also can pass to the next generation. The children of Bowers and Smith receive it automatically after the parents' ceremony. Bowers' father, like her husband and children, was a follower of the Rastafari faith. Part of the Rastafari tradition is to move back. We see moving back is the ultimate experience that you can have on this earth, she said. She believes that her father is proud of her. I really feel like he's smiling where he is. He wanted to experience this for himself, so he's experiencing it through me. So shout out to everybody. I see we got some of our people coming up in here. What's up, Miss Val? What's up, Goddess? What's up, Mel? I see you guys. What's up to my people over there? Mr. Nightfall, one of our moderators. What's up, Polo Styles? I see you over there as well too. What's up, Akeem? I saw okay, what's up, Avenge Your Ancestors? What's up to you as well too? Shout out to the family over there on YouTube as well as the family over here on X as well too. Nightfall says, what about safety? Wasn't the largest market in Ghana just burned the cinders the other day? He also says Ghana has had the ability to do this all the time. Why now? I agree with you, Nightfall. Ghana could have did this back in the 1960s when they started getting their independence, the 50s, the 60s, and all of that as well too. Akeem says they need help to cover Chinese loans. They don't give a F. Armor the slave. They don't give a F. Armor the slaves they sold for trinkets. What took them so long? The slave became mixed with indigenous Black Americans. So we got some of our people over there saying that, hey, they feel like it may be about money. I've heard that floated around by a few people saying that they feel like that I guess that China owns such a big part of Ghana's debt that they feel like Ghana's doing this to basically try to get themselves up out the hole. I think that's one way of looking at it as well too. And I think they also that you do have a number of Black Americans in this country that feel a kinship, and a bunch of them want to go over there and see exactly what's what. So I think that they're using that as well to say, you know what, we can potentially get some. Maybe they're trying to say we can get some of the best and brightest minds of Black America and the diaspora over here as well too. The same way America attracts some foreign people to come over here and use their resources and everything else like that. Maybe we can do that to help try to build up our economy and to get us up out of debt as well too. That's a possibility as well too. I know this has been because this topic is this article has been covered everywhere from Yahoo to you name it. You got all kind of different media outlets picking up the actual story. And I said when I got a chance to come back on, shout out to you, Nightfall, too, for the donation on Cash App. I said when I got a chance to go ahead, and this is the first broadcast of 2025, I wanted this to be maybe the first topic that I did go ahead and cover. DJ, give me your feeling on this, man, because like I said, a lot of people are talking about that. They feel like, hey, this is a way for Ghana to kind of pull themselves out of the cauldron and try to get their money right, because they owe China so much and they're in debt to China as well too. And I guess you feel when you forget that Black Americans have close to almost $2 trillion in spending power right now as well too. So go ahead, DJ, you got it.
Yeah, spring original. Shout out to Original Blood. Yeah, no, I just want to say we still ain't seen the slave rescue ship to this day. Well, what day is it? It was the 6th of the month, 2025 a year. We've been here 500 years. Anybody seen the slave rescue ship, a bus, a white flag being waved, like anything? You know what I'm saying? So if y'all want us to come over there, y'all might as well just go and cut it to check. You know what I'm saying? Give us all reparations, man, and some land automatically. You know what I mean?
That's a great thing. And Nightfall says, I believe in November, Stevie Wonder became a Ghanaian citizen, didn't he? And I think it was around that time, Nightfall, that Stevie did get the Ghanaian citizenship. Could have been a little bit early, but I think it was definitely late towards last year, middle to late last year. So I think you are correct about that, Nightfall. Nightfall also said they're trying to sell the African dream of Ghana so that we can build businesses over there for their benefit. Mr. Original, what's going on 2025? How you doing tonight, Original?
2025, it's all the way live.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, have you ever heard of Dr. Randy Short? Hello?
Yeah, I've heard of Dr. Short.
Yeah. Okay, well, Dr. Randy that year return, he said that really wasn't about Black Americans. He said Ghana made, I forget how many billions of dollars that Ghana made from Black folks going over there, believing that there is some type of tie with us and Ghanaians. And he said that basically the same thing that you were just saying about, Ghana owes money to, a lot of them African countries owe money to China.
And what they do is, what China has been doing is, China is more than happy to give them the money. But when they can't pay, there's a couple of countries, I think it might have been Senegal or some other country. Anyway, it's several countries where they have lost airports and other things because they couldn't pay the bill. And see, again, you had a lot of these so-called Pan-Africans. They just thought, oh yeah, China's giving America a run for the money in Africa, blah blah blah. And but China is doing the same thing that America and Europeans have been doing, is that they just raping them of all the resources. And so he said that Dr. Short also said that Ghana passed this what is called a so-called anti-gay bill, and so but the president of Ghana hasn't signed the bill yet, because remember when Kamala went over there and she was promoting, the gay issue, and the people rejected her for that. Well, according to Dr. Randy Short, the president of Ghana hasn't signed that bill because he's concerned he's gonna get a lot of pushback from the West because of how they promote homosexuality. And so and I think you did a space on this, right, about how now Kenya, they want to do this thing called the Garden of Eden, trying to get Black Americans, trying to use religion to get Black Americans to come over there and spend money on tourism. You see, they're not being honest with this thing. They just want us over there for our money. Because, see, remember, what's the little punk name? Akon. How he came over here and exploited our culture, and then he turned on us. And see, he himself had supposed to have been getting some money from China to build this thing called Akon City. I think he's Senegalese. I forget this. Yeah, I think he's Senegalese too. And so it was one report came out that said that if he wasn't going to do anything with that land, he gonna have to give it back or do something or whatever. And so even like B.B. King said, that song, "You might have made your move too soon." See, that's what Akon and a number of them have done. They continue to want to crap on us, but then they want us to come and help them build and do all this other stuff. But there's nothing in it for us. It's always about them. And and like what DJ said, where were the rescue ships coming to get us? See, ain't nobody even, and let's not forget, who was that? When Malcolm X went over there, and he said that trying to tell them that we have the same problem. It's white folks. And they told Malcolm X, we got our own problems. They've not been willing to listen to us or work with us. And maybe they think because Stevie Wonder may be getting citizenship or something, because I think for a long time, they wouldn't give Black American citizenship. They would give them a right to a vote. So, and then you got to look at the fact that some of the people that go over there, like it was, I think it was two sisters from either Detroit or Texas. They had built the house and everything, and then some local wanted it, saying that, he took them, they had to take them to court, and they won, and they ended up getting murdered. So there's a lot of stuff going on over there in Africa that a lot of us don't hear about, but they want us to believe that, they have our best interests at heart. I think they need us to come over there. I think more than anything, they need us to come over there and build, because see, Akon see that he made that mistake, and then he started trying to get us to associate with him. Black folks said, hell no. You've already showed us who you are. And he talked about us, saying, he was one of those two saying that we don't have a culture and this, that, and whatever. Okay, well, y'all got this rich culture. Handle your own business, because we are no longer throwing on the Captain Saberholt cape to come and save people that don't like us. Now, I'm not saying that they all don't like us, but they're not even calling out the ones that do hate us. Just like how you got a lot of them over here saying all kind of crazy stuff about us, and then they want us to come over there and help them out and do this and that. But again, it's the tribal beef that they have with each other, and they see us as the competing tribe. So they're not trying to do anything with us. So all I can say is, hey, we're gonna continue to build here, and they're gonna have to do whatever it is they can do for themselves. But don't think you're going to exploit us the way that you're being exploited, and that we're gonna see that as being acceptable. It's just not gonna happen. And I'll land with that.
Original, let me ask something, and it's just not for you, but the entire room as well, too. Because I know this is about citizenship and about people coming over there to live and stuff, and I know they want to be particular, choosy who comes over there as well, too, because they do want people that's going to come and invest in the country and help build infrastructure and things of that nature as well, too. But let me ask you and everybody else in the room. Let's just forget about the citizenship thing alone. If they were willing to go ahead and say, you know what, we're willing to connect with you guys and to partner up on some business and this and that, and give you guys land and everything else like that and some resources, would that make it more enticing to you to go ahead and do business? Because we see that we're living in a global economy right now. We got people that's investing from all over the world. One thing about America is that America has divvied up and parceled out so many parts of land and property and stuff over this country to foreign nations and foreign corporations as well too. Would that be something of interest, you think, for maybe some Black entrepreneurs in this country, Black business owners? Hey, if we could go over there and we can get certain things waived in terms of the paperwork and red flags and that kind of stuff like that. Would that be something you think that would actually be appealing to Black Americans? Because I don't have an issue with us. I would like to see, as Black Americans, I would like to see us get a foothold, a global foothold in some of these different nations and countries around the world as well too, and see how we can go ahead and make money just like every other group is doing it. You got every other group coming over here and investing in America and making a killing. Would you be against Black Americans? And I know a lot of these are major corporations and stuff of that nature, but let's say maybe mid-sized companies, maybe even some small business, maybe even in terms of group economics, you're getting together and forming some kind of multinational corporation, Black American ran. Would that be something you think that would be enticing?
Okay, now that sounds good. That sounds good in theory. I'm gonna say that, Newstoter. But see, what we have to understand is that, we're still dealing with a group of people that some of them may have disdain for us for whatever reason, whether it be some kind of tribal beef or what. Now remember, when what's his name, the big Tigger figure, what is it, DJ JT or something like that, the big Tigger figure. He was some I think an Oakland rapper, and he went over to Africa to do business, and he said that like he said he was gonna release some more information as to how he was treated over there. Initially, he said everything was going pretty well, but he said that some of these people, they would tell him, like when he was trying to buy property and build and stuff, but then they tell him, well, the law has changed. It's like the next day they make up something like the law has changed. See, they got to come at us in good faith. They don't seem to want to do that. It's like it's this whole exploitation situation that they see us as having, money and being able to build and do things, but it doesn't appear that they want to come at us in the same way. But see, I saw a video, and see, they don't treat the white folks and others like this. See, I saw a video last year, and it showed this Black American. I wish I had I gotta check my YouTube and see if I've saved that. But it showed a Black American brother. He was going to some well-named club in Ghana. Might have been in a crowd somewhere, And so they tell this brother that he must buy a table and buy X number, pay for a table, and then buy X number of drinks if he's going to come into this club. So the brother said, well, can I come in and just kind of get a feel and see if I want to, do all of this or whatever, And they said, okay, they allowed him to do that. So he came in, so he saw that it looked like it was going to be popping, and he went ahead and got the table, and he started buying the drinks. But then he noticed that white folks over here, they wasn't buying those drinks the way that he was told that he had to buy them. And when he confronted him on it, and they told him, well, they're not going to do it. How in the hell you gonna let a foreigner come into your country and tell you what they are not going to do? But you're going to tell a black American that they must do this, that, and whatever. That's not right. That's being beyond disrespectful. And black folks are just not going to put up with that. Now, if they want to come in good faith, it would be a great opportunity for black Americans to take, I'll say some black Americans, to take their skill set over to Africa and want to build with the Africans. But they got to be willing participants. We're not coming over there to get robbed, because that mentality when it comes to us, it seems to be very pervasive. Because like I said earlier, now Kenya's talking about doing this Garden of Eden, whatever, trying to get us to come over there for tourism.
We had a space on that one too last year.
And they want to get us to come over there on tourism, and they're not thinking about us. Well, you know what? Even if here's the issue, Newstoter. If Ghana and some of these if these heads of states in in Africa, if they were to come together and push and say, yes, black Americans are owed reparations. See, this need to, like Dr. Claude Anderson told us about politics, it's quid pro quo. Well, giving assistance, it's quid pro quo too. They should be backing us, saying that we should be giving that black Americans, not black immigrants, because in this country, just because your skin is black, that doesn't entitle you to reparations. So they need to say, they need to start using whatever little muscle or whatever they might have. If they just use their voices by saying that black Americans should be getting reparations, that could be a game changer for us. But you see, apparently they're not willing to do that because, see, we see how these Pan-Africans like Ray Winbush, no relation to somebody else in this room, and Greg Carr and a number of others, they out here saying that everybody should get reparations. Now, if some of these African countries were to stand up and say, you know what happened to the black American is wrong, and America, you need to pay them reparations. See, we need to get something out of the deal. And if they're not willing to give us anything out of the deal, then, it's like you move at your own risk. Kind of what it is. But there needs to be something in it for us to make this work. Because, see, what they're failing to understand, if they backed us getting reparations, some of us would go over there and help them to build and so forth. That would be a way of getting us to come over there. If they backed us, some of us might do that. What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I agree. If they back the reparations, I definitely think, and I personally believe they should back reparations for every person every group that was caught up in the transatlantic slave trade. That means the folks in the Caribbean as well as South America as well too. So I believe they should not only back it, but I believe that they should go ahead and pay their portion of reparations as well too. Now I understand they don't have the finances that the Western nations would have, but they do have a ample amount of land that they can go ahead and go ahead and give that to the actual groups that were impacted by the actual transatlantic slave trade. So I believe if they went ahead and did that, I think you would definitely have that. Now here's the thing too, and I think Nightfall said it on YouTube, And I I agree with him. Like I believe this is something that they should have did back in the 60s. Once they got their independence, I think they should have went ahead and said, you know what, because of colonization, we're so far behind where we need to be at. We need to get some people in here that can go ahead and jumpstart our actual economy as well too. But while they're helping to jumpstart the economy, we need to go ahead and make sure those people are taken care of. And number one way to do that would have been to go ahead and attract some of the best and brightest minds in Black America. But also, you're in partnership with them. Like they're not there to work for you; they're there to work for themselves. And by working for themselves, they're going to enrich your nation as well too. But I think that that would have been the way to go about it. I think that the momentum that you had built off of the civil rights movement in the 60s, and not only that, but you had also coming in the late 60s and going into the 70s, early 70s, you had the Black Power movement as well too. I think that they could have did some great things then if they would have went ahead and hollered at them and and taken that step there. You could have had this economy from Africa to America. You could have had a real connection, I think, at that time. Now, that's not to say that that's not impossible now, but there's so much red tape that goes along with and going to some of these countries as well too, in terms of just the land itself, where it's basically like you never own it, but it's a lease. What I did see when that article I was reading, I heard what it was saying, like that the actual husband and wife, that their kids would automatically become, I guess, citizens once that ceremony took place as well too. So I think there's a lot of things that could be put into place to make it more attractive. Here's the thing that, you got all these other groups going over there investing in stuff like that. And I think they sweeten the pot for a lot of them as well too. So let's be for real. I don't think they're really getting the best, business deal. But I think if they were to go ahead, I think Black Americans are maybe the only group in the world that would not go over there with the intentions of going ahead and trying to just get over them and cheat them and rob them and everything else like that. That they say, hey, we're looking to make this equitable. We want to profit, of course. We're not going to go into business just to go in business, but we want to make a profit ourselves. But at the same time, we'll help you guys make a profit. It'll be mutually beneficial for all of us. So I think had that happened, and I think if you're really serious about it, because I did something like 500 some odd people went and got 574 people I think got this citizenship. That's a relatively small amount of people when you think about it. 574 people, that's not a whole lot of people going over there. It's not like you say 5,000 people went over there and got citizenship. So you're still talking about only a very minute. And even though the bulk of the people may be coming from America, you still got the Caribbean and the Diaspora and other groups coming over there as well too. So you're talking about when you're talking about quote unquote the Diaspora, you're talking about such a small, minute number of people that's actually going over there, actually showing some real interest in becoming citizens. Now that's not to say 10 years from now things won't change, but I think that you have to have people in politics, and you have to have these people sit up here, and you have to have a real open dialogue. Because it's one thing talking about come home and this and that or whatever, and the year of return and this and that or whatever. And I don't fault them. As a nation, you want to go ahead and you want to jumpstart your economy. And you're saying, you know what? It would make sense for us to go ahead and get the richest Black people in the world to come over here. The Black people that have the most. Let's try to get a number of them to come over here and see if we can go ahead and get them to help jumpstart our economy as well too. So I don't fault them on that. But I'm just saying the pot has to be, to me, it has to be, sweeter. You gotta do more to entice Black people, and they have to have more of a guaranteed as well too. And I know people say, well, in business there are no guarantees and this and that or whatever. But if you're talking about come home, you talk about the year of return, you're talking about all of this stuff, all of these nice little titles you're giving it, and you're saying, hey, this is your long lost home and this and that, reconnect with your people and this and that. Well, the type of guarantee that you should give Black Americans and the diaspora as well too should be much, much greater than what you would give the Asians, what you would give the East Indians, what you would give white folks, what you would give the Arabs. So until you actually come that way, until you actually start having, and then you have to actually have people that we trust over here in America as well too, in the business sense, political sense. How many people in politics right now, if you were to go ahead and you would try to formulate something between Ghana, the economists in Ghana and the black people over here in America, some of our top minds and stuff, and even the political people, how many people really put any trust in the Congressional Black Caucus, formulating something will it be beneficial for us or whatever? I mean, most people say, you know what, I don't trust them, or a good amount of people say, you know what, I don't trust it or whatever. So I think, to me, it would have to be something. That's where you need a think tank. I think that's where you need a think tank, because you have all of those minerals and all of those reserves and everything else over there. Black people, if they do go over there and they do get into business or whatever, you're not trying to get no swampland. I mean, you're not trying to get something, some kind of trash dump, anything like that, a landfill. You're trying to get prime location. You're trying to get prime real estate, even if it's not developed, something that's sitting on something that's going to give some value to the land as well, too. So you're not just talking about packing up stuff, going over there doing business, and you're getting the short end of the stick.
Yeah, you're right. But at the same time, we sort of remember Kwame Nkrumah. I think it was I forget which university, which HBCU Kwame Nkrumah attended here in America. But see, they allowed the white folks to turn them against Kwame Nkrumah, and they overthrew him. And so, my position is that, I wouldn't have a real issue with it, but as you stated, it's going to have to benefit us that so that we will, it's just that so much has happened. And see, they're not willing to call out. They're not willing to call out their coons that are coming here, and see, I guess they're reporting back or whatever about, these Black Americans, they're this and they're that, but they're not. And then too, some of these people, they may be ops. I understand how our enemy works, whereby they can always find somebody that they can turn, just like how you probably saw that video on Dr. Perry where he got caught up, and then he, instead of telling people what was going on, he spied on the Black Panthers and others and making them, but the whole deal. But it's just that so much has happened. And like I say, we don't hate these people, but they got to come at us correct and not be, and they need to call out their coons, because that's one of the main issues right there, that they're not, it appears that they may not hold up their end of the ball, because there's been several people who I've seen to move over there. It was a video I saw, and like what they'll do to us, it was a Black couple that had moved there, and what they do is, Newstoter, they charge Black American one price, a higher price, but the locals get a cheaper price. You can't, treat people like that and expect them to come and want to build with you. It is not going to work. They're going to have to be on the up and up and make this thing happen correctly. Like I say, some of us who are near retirement, maybe, coming into some kind of windfall, or have enough money to whereby they can go there and use their skill set for this, that, and whatever. But if it's not going to really benefit them, and they feel that they're going to be getting the short end of the stick, it's just not going to happen. They need to come correct. And the other thing, they need to talk to us, like you said about the Congressional Black Caucus. They need to talk to, let's say, if we did form some kind of a think tank, it would have to be done without involvement of the Congressional Black Caucus or any of these people that call themselves leaders in this country. Because we already see what their track record is with us here. And so if they're not doing anything with us here, you can be for sure that if some type of scamming process is going on, they ain't gonna let us know. And so that'll be something that I think they need to reach out to the Black masses in general, versus trying to go through these Black elected officials, because they've already showed us they're not going to represent us. I've shared information all the time showing how they will have okay, just like what's her name? I put it in the purple chat. Lucy Macbeth. She just ran for re-election for her position here in Georgia. And if you look at her platform, I'm just putting it in the purple chat. At the top of her platform, she has gay rights. That's the top of her platform. And then on down further, she has what she gonna do for immigration and DACA. See, these people they need to understand that you got the same thing going on politically. You basically have the same thing going on there as you do here. The politicians are not representing the people. And me personally, I would not get involved in anything where these black elected officials here have anything to do with it, because they've already shown me they don't give a damn about me. So why would I trust them to do something internationally, and they're not even doing anything on the local, state, or federal level here? So that's just something that, that must be worked out. But I just put that this is the platform she just won on. And we are not cited on this platform at all. They act like we don't exist except to vote. So, yeah, that's something that must be, discussed. And they need to understand that, they're going to have to get some balls and stand up to these white folks and others and stop allowing them to just come in there and treat them in the way that they want to. Now, like I said, those two sisters that was killed, and there has been, and I've even seen videos, Newstoter, where this brother, he was from some part of the Caribbean, it might have been Jamaica. He went over there and built a house. I think he had built some businesses, and they took it from him. And he said he was just like, well, this is better than being in Jamaica, but that's not right. They can't continue to treat people like that. And there has been other people who have gone there, and these practices that they have when you're supposed to be building, buying land and building, from what I'm hearing, in some cases, like what the big figure said, that you got to get the fingerprint of the chief or something. I can't conduct business like that. I just can't. So I just want to share that in our land. But if anyone else has anything that they want to add to that, please do. But these people need to understand that these elected officials here, we don't trust them. They are not speaking up for us. They act like we don't exist until it's time to vote. We all saw what they was doing during when Kamala, but they were trying to get us to vote for Kamala. But yet we wasn't getting anything out of the deal. So yeah, that part must be discussed before anything can take place in our land.
Yeah, with that being said, so even with all that being said, Original, I agree with you 100%. But even if we allowed like the Black Caucus to go over there and represent us, we would have to vote us in. You feel what I'm saying? The new Black media grassroots. That's what have to be voted into the Black Caucus. So therefore, meaning we got to go get the Black state first, then get our people in the office in the Black state. Then we can send you to Ghana. Because if we relying on a Maxine Waters who's 85, 90 years old, well, maybe we could have sent Maxine over there. You're about to retire anyway. You go over there and do what you got to do. But we still don't trust you because we know you're working on behalf of white supremacy, Maxine. Because you ain't never did nothing for the folks in your district in 30 years. Clyburn, 35 years you've been in office. What's going on? Roz Coon Baraka, you've been the mayor of North for God knows how long. Cory Booker, you was a one-term mayor and bounced on the show. Left us hanging. You know what I mean? During a recession. So it's like, I don't trust Black leadership in the sense of being inside of government office at this point. So it's like, I think we need to change mindset here at home before we can even thinking about going abroad, for the simple fact, why should we continue to allow our people to go from our homeland in America to wherever, God knows where, to be set up, to be killed, like you said, kind of like what does happen to a lot of folks that do come from the diaspora, go back to Africa, because they go into these places like Ghana, Nigeria, you know what I'm saying, Senegal, where it ain't nothing there. I ain't trying to crap on nobody, but Trump was right. Shit, whole country. Excuse me, French. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we got to get our stuff here correct 100%. Because until we get our debt, I don't want nothing from no one else. For the simple fact, you ain't been trying to help. You feel what I'm saying? And if you was really about it and cared about what was going on, you wouldn't be sending smoke signals through the airways of social media. You would just come over here. You know what I'm saying? You would just send some representatives over here, start having some meetings at some convention hall, the black church, you know what I'm saying? At the food bank, you know what I'm saying? In the park where we jam at, that's what y'all would do. But y'all don't do that. Y'all send this message like a smoke signal through the digital media. It's not a form of communication. Only those that are like-minded will understand what we're talking about here. But I ain't gonna be long-winded. Go ahead, Arisa. What's good, bro? Last connectors in the building.
Hey, you sound kind of low, bro.
You sound real low. He may, I don't know, did he have a Bluetooth on, or he just I saw he disconnected. He was really, really low.
That wind whipping in Alaska, that's what you hear.
Let's see if he's louder now.
Hey, Newstoter, did you put that article in the Jumbotron?
I can put it in there. I didn't put it in, but I can put it in there.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, much better.
All right. Let me jump in and say this. Yeah, I did. I threw some stuff in the Jumbotron regarding the current situation in Ghana. I don't know if a lot of people are aware of this, but China's one China legislation basically tricks governments in Africa into thinking they're getting some sweetheart deal. But like the brother said earlier, huh? Yep. They trick them in some type of a sweetheart deal, and then on the back end, they have to pay all this interest back on these debts, and they never do. It's a mathematical fact. So it's going to be a challenge. And in the Jumbotron, I put something to the effect of, are we going to pay Ghana's debt? Here's the thing. Until these countries have a stable form of legislation that protects people, both domestic and foreign, it's going to be very hard to do business in Ghana. And the brother gave an example before about how somebody built something in Ghana and then had it taken from them. What kind of governmental policy allows people who built stuff to have it taken from them? But that's how China is. China's the same way. If I go and build a mansion in China, the Kusandan, which is the Chinese government, they could come in and snatch it and don't have to give you a reason why they took it. See, in America, we have legislation that bona fides our ownership. You buy a house and land, that's yours. Nobody can take it from you. In other countries, they don't have that. And because of this being 2025, they know not to create legislation to give us the upper hand on something like that. So when you go to these countries, you'll find out, like, for example, you'll find out in Dubai that you could buy a house, but the land under it belongs to the Dubai people and government. And they can snatch that whole house and land anytime they feel like it. That's not transparency. And you don't want to be caught in a situation like that. So the thing is that if you're going to move forward, you got to make sure that, and I said this the very first time I got on Twitter talking about Ghana, in order to make sure that there is an opportunity for us as Black Americans in Ghana from a business or residential aspect, the legislation or the rules of government have to mirror that of the Constitution of the United States, in a sense that they have to have some form of protection so that somebody can't just come by and snatch what we rightfully earned or were given to, whatever the case may be. And I'll pretty much land my plane on that. But I wanted to make sure that you guys understand that what's the point of investing in these countries, not just Ghana, but any of them, if their government can't protect our business interests and residential interests. If I go over and build a house in Ghana and I built it from scratch, no help, I did it myself, what right does the government have or the people in government have to snatch it? But they have that upper hand because their quote-unquote constitution does not protect people like us. So if we want to do business with Ghana, we have to do it from a distance, give them money and put together some team and then work on it that way indirectly. But as far as actually going over there to help, unless that constitution of theirs protects us, it's wasting time. And I'll say this, and there was another point I was trying to make. I'll say this and I'll land my plane. As far as creating a committee, the Congressional Black Coons can't help. The reason why the Congressional Black Caucus can't help us is because their ideology is only for the United States. We would have to create a think tank from scratch in spaces like this, representing both parties, Black Americans and non-Black Americans, in order to help them. We can't depend on the Congressional Black Caucus. We can't depend on anybody. We have to make this from the ground up, just like we made the United States from the ground up. You know, just like we made the United States from the backs of chattel slavery. We have to build it all. So I'm just giving you guys that information as food for thought. Don't waste your time. You want to help Ghana? Do it from a distance. You want to create a think tank? Do it in spaces like this. I'll round up everybody, and that's pretty much it. Newstoter, DJ, original. I'll land my plane. This is your boy Renzo, FBA, 10 toes down. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Ariza. And I agree with you saying. I'm gonna get to I am as well too. I don't trust giving them the actual money. We would need boots on the ground over there. I personally wouldn't want to, like I say, there would be no investment whatsoever without some kind of guarantee in writing and everything else, like you said, because I agree with you. Nobody's going to build something up and then all of a sudden the government go ahead and they just, hey, you know what? Well, this is actually ours, or this actually belonged to an actual chief and this and that or whatever. So you would need to actually have, it would actually have to be something, you got the backing from the government. It needs to be in the media as well too. So if things fall through, especially on their end, they would have to explain it to everybody in the world exactly what happened, some insurances and everything else like that. So I don't believe in just blindly investing in a place that you know nothing about. Like you said, you create the think tanks and all of that kind of stuff, and then you go about it that way as well too. I got to read this comment real quick, and I'm gonna get to I am. P. Ross says Black women flying over there to get their hair done and take a minication is cheaper than going up the street in the U.S. I don't quite think so. And you talk about spending an actual airline ticket to fly to a whole nother country and continent across the other side of the ocean. It's cheaper. You can find some sisters in the hood or whatever that can hook your hair up a lot cheaper than it is, and actually getting a plane ticket to go into Ghana and all of that kind of stuff as well too. Hotel fees and all of that as well too. So I get kind of the gist of what you're saying, but I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that. I am. How you doing tonight?
Peace, brother. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on now?
I'm chilling. Long day at work. So I said, let me come in here and listen to y'all. I just wanted to quickly, of course, speak to the title of the room. It's going to be the same as Distrust and Arenza. Quick question, brother Arenza. Do you have land in Ghana?
Ariza, are you still there? Because I know Ariza's out there in Alaska. I'm not sure. Ariza, are you there?
He doesn't. I'm gonna say he doesn't because if
I couldn't hear your question.
I said, do you have land in Ghana, or have you ever purchased land in Ghana?
No, I haven't, but I have relatives that purchase land in other African countries.
Okay, I'm not talking about other African countries, brother. I'm talking about Ghana. Okay. No. All right. Well, I have 8 acres in Ghana, 5 miles off of the ocean, the Atlantic Ocean, to be honest with you. I can post my indentures if you like to see that as well. The only people that actually own land in Ghana would be the chiefs. And what happens is you can go and either lease the land from the chiefs, or you can actually purchase the land on the chiefs. In Ghana, and I believe in Kenya's constitution as well, they both say that no one owns the land because they don't believe in people owning the land. Your indentures do come through, the chief, and you have to go and get them registered with the government and everything else like that. But the only people that can take your land from you is the chief. And that's only if you lease the land. The lease there is 99 years, and then after that, You renew it for whatever amount it is, and to us, it's pennies on a dollar. And for 99 years after that, it can be passed down to your family, and all of that above. Now let's talk about America. America's when you want to add something onto your house, right? You have to go to your city or your village or your town and get a permit. You need permission to do anything. The government, American government, owns every piece of land in this country, which is why you pay property taxes forever, regardless of whether your house is paid off or not. And that's why you have to get permission to do anything to the house. All right. There's only several ways that you can actually own any property. Oh, let's not forget about eminent domain, where, like they did to our ancestors back in the day. Screw you, we're just going to build the whole highway through it. It doesn't matter. Then you got, you could do like Trump did. So you don't have to ever worry about taking your government. Everybody laughed at him because he buried his ex-wife on his property. Actually looked into it. When that happened, smart man. Now he'll never pay taxes, and the government could never take his land because that was considered a cemetery. The other option would be to go get a colloidal. I'm probably not saying the word right. I struggle with that word, but it's a title, right? You get the title. You get a title from the mortgage company after you pay off the house, right? You think it's my house. It's not your house. You're still paying taxes on the house. You don't pay that taxes. Guess who's coming to take your house, right? The government. So you go, allodial, you go to the government, you get the allodial title, right? And once you get that title, that means you're actually purchasing the property from the government. Now, you may own the house, but you'll never own the land unless you do one of those two things. And there's something else, I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, so, we have to do more than listen and just make and concoct stuff in our heads, because this is what we think. You should really speak to someone who's actually been through this experience. I purchased my land. It's been about 4 years ago now. Not even 8 months. Not even 8 months after I purchased the land, the value went up 57%. I purchased each acre at $600 each. It cost me $22 in that's US dollars. $22 in US dollars to clear the land. I have virgin land. It's never been touched. I get it cleared off $22 per acre every single year. Every single year. And I'm not the only Black American in this country who has done it. So I'm part of a group of about 67 of us who have purchased this virgin land in this area of Ghana between 3, 4, 5 years ago. Oh, excuse me. No, it's like 4 years ago, and then you got 3, 2, whatever. As young as pretty much this young lady just purchased land a couple of months ago as well. So, yeah. But that's pretty much all I had to say about that, because we get a lot of comments.
Now, hold on real quick, Arinza.
Ghana and purchasing land and everything else like that. And I went through the entire process. Yeah, and I have some people who are Black Americans who are now selling their land over here. So if anybody who's interested in purchasing land in Ghana, let me know. And I didn't purchase it because I wanted to move there. I purchased it because they are building tremendously over there, and I like to do business. It's all about business, and it's investment for me. So yeah, and I'm a land. But I love y'all. I hope y'all having a happy month.
Hold on, Ariza. I want to ask her something. Now, have you actually visited the property yet, or have you ever been there?
I've been there one time. That was 8 months after I purchased the land. I went there because they had to put the I can't think of the name of them right now. It's been so while, but I actually have the footage on my page. I have that the drone footage is on my page. I got ground footage on my pages. I shared it before, not too long ago, from last year sometime. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, if you get a
I need to go because it's been a while, but I do. Out of the 6 or 7 of us, actually, we're in WhatsApp or whatever. We talk a lot, and they actually, one of the young ladies, one of the sisters, she actually just went last week to check on, everybody's land, and this is what everybody does in the group because again, I have no really interest of going. This was all for an investment for me. So and when the Chinaman comes and want to purchase the land, he's gonna have to pay a lot of money, or maybe I'll decide to build and Airbnb it out. I haven't decided what I wanted to do with it yet, but it's.
Let me jump in and say this. I hear what you're saying 100%, but you also said something that caught my attention there, and that is you bought the land from the chief, right? Or the chief is the one that makes the decisions on what happens to the future of your ownership of the land. Am I right?
Well, again, that would depend if you lease the land. Absolutely, if you lease the land, he can decide at any time to take it. But if you actually purchase the land from him, no, that's your land, bro.
Okay,
unlike America, where here you have to get permits to do stuff. There, you can build whatever you want. You don't need permission to do anything. Nothing.
Okay, I got that part. Thank you for that too. And I sent you a DM. We got to talk later if you have the time. The other thing also, but the other thing that I'm also watching is a lot of people want to do business with Ghana. That's great, but it seems like they have some form of protection on their end. My problem is these supremacists, people from outside of Ghana that will try to come in and redo everything like a coup, something that will upset the system. And I'm wondering if that's going to have an effect on our future plans. But based on what you said, it does sound like Ghana is a sizable investment. And I look forward to talking to you about it and seeing where this goes. I'm just concerned because I'm looking at what's happening in the world today. And I'm looking at a bunch of people that have a lot of money that are committing genocide and doing all these crazy things. And I don't want that stuff to trickle down into Ghana in the future. You guys have children. I would want them to enjoy the purchases of your investments today. So I'm glad you brought that up. Look forward to talking to you. It's like Ghana's the target, everybody. I'll land my plane.
Absolutely. In Kenya, I have a friend who is been working with the Kenyan government to start businesses. She's a Black American in Charlotte, North Carolina. She's back and forth. So if you're looking to open a business in Kenya, purchase land, I can introduce you to her and she can help you as well. So, it's a lot of it's a lot of talk and everything I hear on this app, but let me tell you something. My business is all about business, and I'm going to do business wherever the business is good. I'm all about legacy building. I'm all about doing what's in the best interest of me and my family, first of all, and then secondly, my people. So me purchasing this land was a very, 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 very good investment. I'm so proud. I'm so very happy that I did this. It's about worth 3 times more than when I purchased it. This is crazy. But yeah, I got your DMs and we'll talk.
Okay, Sister I am.
All right. Hold on 1 second, original, because we got Black MP up there. So I just want to ask her one quick question. What city is it? What city is it in? I am.
It's in Quaycrom.
Quaycrom. Okay. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get to the to Black MP, and then we'll go ahead and we'll get back to you.
Hey, what's up, Newstoter? Happy New Year's to you, DJ. Original. Happy New Year's to the family.
Happy New Year.
Yep. Peace, blessings, and prosperity to you in 2025. Just wanted to clear up some things that I heard in the States. I mean, I'm not really looking to get any citizenship in Ghana. I don't knock anybody who is going to try. If you're going to try to knock yourself out, I'm okay being here in America. But as far as not owning your property, even when you pay it off, you do own your property. The reason why there's taxes levied against your property, such as property taxes, because they're levied to fund municipalities. Like, so anyone who owns a home, when you get your property tax bill, the majority of it probably goes to the school district. The rest of it is to fund like highways and county government operations. Secondly, if you own your house and you don't have an HOA, the only time you need permission to do something to your house is if you have an HOA. So HOAs are very funny. So if you want to put up a 6-foot fence, the HOA, you'll have to clear it through them because they're funny about things that you do to your house. If you want to add an addition, they want you to clear it through them. But if you own your house without an HOA, you can do whatever you want. Now, if you mess something up and homeowners insurance has to get involved, that will be the only time, because I have inspectors that say, hey, well, you didn't do something right, so we're not going to pay. But if you own your house outright and there's no HOA, you can do whatever you want. And the only reason why you own your home, if you pay it all, there's always going to be property taxes because you have to fund the municipalities within wherever you live. And that was it. But you have a good day.
All right. Thank you. Real quick before I kick it back to original, I am look like you want to say something too. Anybody that wants to speak, because we're not going to keep it long tonight, guys. So if anybody in the listener section want to come up here and speak on the topic as well too, citizenship in Ghana. If you guys also want to talk about your thoughts on should you invest in Ghana, any other nation in Africa as well too. I definitely didn't know this about about her investing over there. So this was pretty interesting to find this out as well too. But if you guys want to speak on that, guys, feel free to come on up here, request to speak. Like I said, because we're not going to keep it. It's not going to be a long space tonight. But because you guys know, about after 2 hours, I shut it down anyways normally. But come on up here if you guys want to speak on the topic. Definitely come on up here. This is the first space for the new year, guys. So we want to go ahead and we want to hear what everybody's got to say as well too. For those that can support us on Cash App too, $Newstoter, $Newstoter. Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news media curation platform today in America. Support the platform, help us grow. Follow us on all our social media platforms. Make sure you guys go to the website, visit it daily. Retweet content that we post on X as well too, guys, and join the Black American News newsroom, the community that we have as well too. That's on the actual Newstoter Twitter page. It's pinned. So guys, go ahead if you have not already joined that community. Pretty much everything I post on X, I go ahead and I post in that community as well too. So make sure you guys go ahead and join that as well too. Original or I am look like you want to say something. I'm gonna get it back to original. Oh, you good? I'm sorry.
No. I was, my mother. It's funny that he said that, because was it 3 weeks ago? 3 weeks ago, my mother was looking. She's looking to add an addition onto her home, and she had to go through the town to permit to do so. So I don't know, if you own the home, why would you have to go to the town to get a permit? So yeah. Cool. But I do have I have a really good friend and his wife. They're now here in the States visiting, but they moved to Ghana I think about 5 years ago, and they have their citizenship. So maybe one day I can get him to come on here and talk to you guys about it. The process and what he went through or whatever else. But, people are there and they're doing fine. Me personally, I'm good. I'm in America. I'm not trying to live over there. I like to go visit and purchase more land, but going to live over there, no, I'm good. This is home.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. I am. Go ahead, original. You got it.
Yeah, what I want to say as far as the building permits, see, what those building permits are for is to make sure that whatever structure that you are building, that it is a sound structure. Now, this brother that works in my office, he knows a sister. She is a contractor, okay? So what happened is this African, I forget which country he was from. I'm thinking that it might be Nigeria. But anyway, this African contracted her to do an addition or something on his home. and she went in there to do this job, and because she's a licensed contractor, you know, she did everything according to the codes here in America. So when she went in and did this, and she left for today, he goes in there, basically rips out a lot of the stuff that she had done, and basically was trying to do some type of shantytown building. And when she came back the next day, she said, "Hey, this is not right." He said, "Well, listen, I'm trying to make us both make money." Well, the thing of it is, she was already making money because she was doing the job. So, and she told him at that point, she was not touching it. If he wanted it done like that, that's on him. Because, see, he wanted to use her contracting license to do some shantytown stuff, and then if it had collapsed or whatever, it was going to be on her and not him. So that's what those building permits are for. And I'll say this too, you know, there's I think she's in maybe, I forget which part, but there's and you can pull it up online. It's called One Africa. It's in Ghana. I think it's in Accra, but you can pull it up. It's like a little resort or something. And one of the locals came to this sister. This was like back in the 90s. Her name is, I think her name is Sister Imeka or something like that. He came to her and said that he needed some African dancers. And she said, "Well, can't you find some of the locals?" He said, "They're gone." See, you have a lot of these people, they would do anything to get the hell up out that place. And so she had some people that was with her. They did, you know, the African dances that they needed to do for the ceremony or whatever. And those were the dancers that did this. So, like I say, if they want us to come up and do this, they're going to have a conversation with us, not these alleged leaders like the Al Sharptons and anyone in the Congressional Coon Caucus, because they don't speak for us. This is something that if it is going to happen, they must have a conversation with us and understand that we're not coming, you know, and see, and that's another thing. We'll have to find out what are the building codes for Ghana or whatever part of Africa you want to live in, because people don't want to build something that's going to fall down. That's not what we are accustomed to here in America. We have these building codes and property taxes and things for a reason. You know, that's right. You know, we have it for a reason, and so I just want people to know. I see Black Majority has come up. I'm a land so he can come in.
Appreciate that. Original Black Majority, how you doing tonight?
Hey, good evening. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm in a spot where normally I kind of go out here, but yeah, so this is a good topic, and it comes up often. I did see the news that they're back on this campaign again. And this is not to Ghana specifically, but this is just to any country outside of the United States, it could be Canada, Mexico, whatever, where citizenship, quote unquote, is on the table. You know, I have a sister, I have two sisters, in fact, who are, their father is a Nigerian. And when they tried to go to Nigeria to get dual citizenship status in Nigeria, being that their father is a Nigerian, the country and wherever she went, I don't know if she went to some embassy or whatever the case was, they rejected her ability because she's in the health field. She's a doula, and she's traveled all around the country, Haiti, India, all these different places, trying to help, birth babies, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so it was a heartbreaking, crushing thing that the country of her father's birthplace would not allow her to get this dual citizenship status, whatever. But for me, the way I would define citizenship is, can you own property, and can that property be transferred to future generations? That would be an important thing for me. The second thing was, can you vote in elections? And can you run for political office in that country? The fourth requirement for me, which is probably a very unique American thing, but can you have self-defense? Do you have the right to own firearms to protect and defend your property and your person? And if all four of those things were not on the table and very explicitly laid out, I would not consider it citizenship anywhere, even in America, for me personally. But I would ask people or suggest people do their due diligence. There was a post that I'm driving, so I can't pull it up, where it was some African country. I don't know what it was. It looked like chaos in the streets, although the streets weren't really streets, but they had these huge mansions. I mean, I'm talking about, if they were in America, they'd probably be 500,000. In my area, if they were in LA, they'd probably be a couple million. And it seemed like a neighborhood of these mansions. And they were actively destroying them while people were going into them to pull out their clothing and their belongings. And they were all Africans, and I don't know what the ethnicity, the tribe, I don't know any of that. But it was stark watching this happen, because you got these expensive SUVs and these really dirt roads, like I'm talking about just horrible dirt roads. And then you see them demolishing these huge mansions. So I don't know. Again, do your due diligence. I just wanted to add that. I'll land. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Black. Thank you. Appreciate that. Let me go ahead and get back to I am DJ. Anybody else, guys? Like I see we got a number of our people up in here. So, guys, if you want to speak, because we ain't gonna keep it on going too much longer. But I am. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
No, I just wanted to answer original's questions. Yes, they do have building codes that I think they launched in 2008. You got to go through the Standards Authority to get the buildings codes if you want to Google it or whatever have you. They do have a lot of requirements. You know, we have to remember that things that happen in other countries are definitely not going to be the same as things that happen here. And one of the things that I've learned going through the process of purchasing the land in Ghana is that they are very unorganized. They are very slow, and everything takes time. So here in America, we're just, we're on I can't say black people time. I was about to say black people time. Here in America, we're all about getting it now. We're accustomed to a certain standard and quality and time and everything like that. But there, in Ghana, it's completely different. So like here, we would have an appointment at 10 o'clock with an attorney, right? We would be there probably 9:45 and 9:50. There, it's not happening. They may show up 1, 2 o'clock, but this is the norm in Ghana. Everything is slow. Everybody's taking their time. There's no rush for anything. The whole land purchasing process for here, it probably would have taken a couple of months. It took almost a year. It took almost a year because that's how slow they are. So we can't expect to have the same type of quality or quantity or everything that we're used to here in America. We are not, for the most part, we're definitely not going to get those when you go to Ghana. That's the only country I've ever been to. But you're definitely not going to get that when you go to Ghana. Even when you're building the house. Like, I haven't built anything on the land yet. But even when you're building a house there, I would highly recommend you be there when you build. Because you will get people who will start farming on your land. If you start building and you're not there, you get some randoms who come and steal the supplies or whatever. Lots of things just happen there. And like I said, again, it's definitely not what we're accustomed to. I see houses all over here in North Carolina, because it rained and snowed today, and, there's supplies everywhere. Nobody's going and stealing us. But that's this is not one of the things that's going to happen in Ghana. And not to mention that you want to be there to monitor and make sure they're building every single thing right, step by step by step. So like I said, it's completely different there, and they do have building codes, and like where I purchased my land at, it's straight residential. So one of the things that we were required to do was to build a modern home. That's it. They don't care how big it is or what color. They don't care about none of that stuff. They just wanted to make sure that it's a modern home. And I like it.
All right. Thank you. I am. Shout out to Chosen619 for the super chat on YouTube. Says, I heard that Ghana is almost bankrupt to China. People have been saying that. That they're dealing with some financial issues over there as well too. So shout out to you, Chosen619. Miss G, go ahead and unmute your mic. How you doing tonight?
Hey y'all, happy whatever this is. Happy New Year. Yeah, I wanted to come in.
Hell outside, girl.
Oh my God, I feel you. I'm like, bro,
I can't feel my face.
Literally. But yeah, I'm glad you're actually talking about this because it is true. They actually owe the IMF $3 million. $3 billion. They owe China, they owe the IMF, I think about China $3 million. And the IMF, China, they owe like 1.something billion.
Oh, okay, because you keep saying 3 million. I'm like, well, 3 million ain't that much money.
I had to go back. But whatever the amounts are, I know it's between 3 billion and 1 billion for China and the IMF. And what that means, those bills are coming to term. And we got to think, and I'm just going, I stay in war mode. I want us to always keep in mind, once we leave America, the rules in America no longer apply to us. We are stripped from the whole 13th Amendment, you won't be enslaved, and all of that. And one thing China has been doing strategically across this country is surrounding all of our resources because, contrary to what everyone believes, we are like America's primary resource. And once we leave here, their ties to us and what they owe to us, that debt is gone. And then we're out in the open, in the middle of people. If you listen to some of the people in here, you watch and look and see what's happening to our celebrities over there. I know people personally who ran the hell back home after going there because it was not what it turned out to be. But in addition to that, I actually saw some videos of people. It was 1.8 billion that Ghana owes to what is that? That's to China. It's 1.86 to China. But when you really look at all of this type of stuff, you got to remember, China can't own us. We're the only black race of people that China doesn't own. China actually owes us in America. But if we go to Ghana, just like they own the people of Ghana, they will then own the black American. And that's their ultimate goal. It's like moving pieces on the chessboard. I would never go in a safe mind. And I hope your land is safe. I hope you are safe there because they ran up in these people's houses with machetes. They don't give a damn. And that's the real stuff over there. They don't talk about it and they don't like to publicize it because they don't want to scare people away. But when you get over there, they don't care who you are. And there's gangs of them that run up in people's properties. So for us, we have to think, China can't own us in America, but they damn sure can own us in Ghana. And that would be like an equal opportunity for America, because then America don't owe us any debt, and then China finally gets us, because that's the end goal with them in the first place. Long story short, they want us to go back this year because they made a promise to pay. And that promise to pay, they said, we're going to get the promise to pay resolved by the beginning of the year. We're talking about the first half of 2025. And everybody's like, how are you going to do that? Guess what they just did? Opened up back everybody. We're telling everybody return to home. That's not my home. You know, if it was my home, I would have been welcome there. I would have ties to that land. I don't have now one. It's like me personally. I don't know about anybody else, but they give you all of this stuff with their ancestry, but I ain't been tied to that land. I don't have not one single relative that I can float back to Africa. But we got a graveyard that me and my husband went to back in just a couple of months ago. And at that graveyard, we had gravestones in the 1700s with our people in those graves. So I don't trust what's happening. And this is also, and I'm going to shut up, Newstoter, but I want you guys to think about this. This is the least collateral damage way to get rid of the Black American from America. Because if they keep killing us, we're going to fight back and they look bad on the world stage. But they can convince you to move out. They can make you lose your jobs. They can force you into a corner. They say, you know what, you ain't really got nowhere to go. You should try to go to this country. You're going to get more if you just leave here. And when you think like, if you know how your open enemy does, and you see these people, I saw a couple of these motherfuckers float on a ship, the front part of a ship. 3 African men floated on the front part of a ship to Europe just to get the hell off of that land. I don't want to go anywhere where people would float on the front of a ship for 14 days and risk their lives in the middle of the ocean than to stay on that land. And that's what I want. If anybody goes, it's for each his own. But we have the ability to buy the land here. Matter of fact, we can really thrive here. We made it possible for us to thrive here. And anybody else that come in, we shut them down like we always have. And we fight back. See, their problem is they pull too many immigrants into the country. So now we kind of got some equal opportunities where we can bust the door down. Because they can't do one thing in one instance and then do another thing on another one because they got too many other people. It's no longer just black and white. So I'm going to land with that. And I hope I gave y'all something to think about before you go and buy that land and those properties, because all we doing is paying off the same people that sold, if allegedly sold our people into this country. They probably was selling people that Europe, whoever knows. But I ain't going in. And thanks for letting me speak.
No problem. Thank you, Miss G. Thank you, guys. Like I say, for those that can support us on Cash App, $Newstoter, the PayPal and Venmo is also up in the Jumbotron as well, too. We need that support. It's a new year. First Twitter space / broadcast podcast of the year. Let's see if we get a couple donations to help the platform as we continue to grow. Thank you, Miss G. This is interesting. This space. I'm glad that I Am came in here too and actually mentioned that she because that gave new legs to the space even more so, because we were mainly just focused on citizenship. Of course, I brought up into the the business aspect about investment, because I don't know. I as a black man, I would like to go ahead and get my hooks into a global market, because I'm seeing the way it's transforming across the world. And of course, first and foremost, you invest here in America and everything else. First, I feel like you need to go ahead and get your money up anyways here. But I also feel like if you are doing investment overseas, I would like for us to go ahead and have our own, corporations and our own, like Dr. Claus said, group economics and stuff like that, where you can have a number of people investing. And, you minimize the risk as well, too. So I don't have an issue with it, because I see every other nationality underneath the sun, every group in the world, from the Arabs to the East Indians to the whites to the Asians to the Latinos, all of them are taking their dollars and going globally and investing in foreign nations and getting rich. And I'm like, well, hey, a lot of the stuff that black people in this country have created, has been taken to other parts of the world, and it has enriched other people. So I'm like, well, hey, since people are getting rich off of the Black American struggle, why can't Black Americans also go to these foreign lands that the people that, that are getting a lot of money off of us? Why can't we also, generate money for ourselves and bring it back? And, the same way everybody else is doing and stuff like that as well, too. So I've had that idea that I would love to you see some kind of a multinational corporation, but it'd be a Black American corporation that goes and invests in Asia, in Europe, in Africa, in Australia, in the Caribbean, in the Pacific, in South America, you know, in different avenues, whether it's agriculture, manufacturing, whether it's, you know, it's mining, forestry, whatever you're talking about. I would love to see our people actually go ahead and reap the benefits of this as well too, because everybody's doing it. Everybody's coming over to the United States, buying up land. You know, these corporations, the foreign corporations, America don't mind selling you out in a minute. They've been doing it. So I personally wouldn't mind that, but what we know, anything with business as well, everything comes with the risk. And especially if you're talking about investing in a foreign nation, especially if you're over and you're not living in that nation, you're over in America, whatever, you know, you got to have somebody, you know, to watch over your interests and your business and everything else, people that you can trust as well too. And then you also want to make sure that the government that you're working with, or the government that you purchase this property or business or whatever in, is not some weak government that, you know, a coup can come in and everything fold like a tin or whatever, and you lose everything. And, you know, just the craziness and the madness we see, because Ms. G made a point that, hey, you know, once you leave America, the things that apply and stuff like that, hey, you can't go in some of these nations and you can sit up here and talk about, well, you know, I got freedom of speech and this and that or whatever. But people been commits to whipping the hell out you over there. You say the wrong thing. So, I mean, you're in a whole nother ball game as well too. So you need to be well versed before you go ahead and you start investing. She seems to be pretty solidified in what she's doing as well too. So, you know, I respect what the sister's doing as well too. So, you know, I have to give her respect on that. I see my boy Professor's up here, so I got to get to Professor. But we also, guys, we definitely need that support. So even if it's $1, please go ahead and think about donating 2025. Let's get this year in this space start off right. Professor, what's going on with you tonight?
Yeah, what's going on at Newstoter? Original DJ up in the house. My brother, Black Majority. I am, Sister I am, Miss G. You kicked the knowledge right there, Miss G, because I agree with you 100%.
Professor, we thought that you had already applied for your citizenship because you went missing. So we thought maybe you already went over to Ghana.
Hey man, look, Ghana is not the place for me. My lineage and my ties are here in the United States of America, soon to be renamed to the United States of Black America, because it belongs to us. That's right. This land is the land that our forefathers and foremothers built up, and it's for us to stay here and fight for it. And I say all of us should stay here and fight for it. Now, let me say this also, like Ms. G said. If you wish to go over there and buy a property or do what you wish to do and go over there and give up your citizenship here, so be it. I would wish you the best of luck. I love you. And I just say be careful because things change when you go into other lands that you have no ties to. We have ties here. Now, we have our issues here. We all know the issues that are here in America. We know America. That's why we should stay here and fight for America, because this is where we know our ties are here. So when you go, like Ms. G was talking about going to a grave site, guess what? Same thing with me. When I go to these grave sites, I'm looking at history that ties me in. Okay? And that's what you have to look at. Your family and your ancestors, all of that ties into this land here. And whatever you have built is tied into here. But at the same time, Sister I Am, she's doing some wonderful things over there with land she has purchased in Ghana. So I'm not against that. And I think we do have some celebrities that have gone that route. Sister I Am, is Stevie Wonder, is he one of the celebrities over there?
Yep, I believe so, sir. Him and I know Patti LaBelle and somebody else too. I know Lou John's over there building schools. It's quite a few. It's quite a few.
So there you did.
Yes, y'all. We have some Black Americans over there, celebrities that have already went over there. But now the question is, they have something to stand on because they have fame. And see, the Ghana government is willing to accept these folks because they know they have money to bring over there. And also those people also have the money for some protection when they go over there. You might not have that protection when you go floating over there. So that's something to think about. So, you look at Patti LaBelle. Who doesn't know Patti LaBelle? Patti LaBelle is known everywhere. I mean, we're talking about one of the sisters of soul, and then who, like Stevie Wonder, we're talking about another international star. These are people that are real known. So they can go anywhere and people are going to know, oh, yeah, I know that person, they famous, But like you go over there, you just another average person to them. And they going to do something to you. So I'm going to land right there. But Miss G, thank you for bringing that knowledge right there. Sister I love you, sister. And thank you for also bringing the knowledge too. And of course, shout out to my sister, One Love right there. Sister Sassy, my brother Ray right there. Goddess Michelle up in the house. Shout out to all of y'all. And I hope everybody have a fabulous 2025. Let's make this year the year that we can bring the Black family into a collective unit so we can take racism and put it in its rightful place in hell. There you go.
Yeah.
Shout around.
Shout out to my boy Professor as well too. Happy New Year, bro. Glad to hear from you tonight as well. Let me give a shout out to Mr. Earl for the contribution on Cash App. Earl, thank you. It is greatly appreciated as well too. Got to read what Marquise just said as well. Oh, I see my girl Just Cakes up here. Let me go ahead and get to her real quick because I know she got the little one. Marquise said Ghana sold Negroes into slavery to the Portuguese. Okay. Let me go ahead and get to Just Cakes. Just Cakes, you got it.
Happy New Year, family.
Happy New Year.
Okay. I got him in the room cleaning up. Spoke too soon.
Uh-oh.
Anyway.
How you doing?
Hi. How you doing, buddy?
Go ahead. So I just want to say that when it comes down to Ghana, I'm with. I don't trust them niggas. Sorry to sound so low or whatever the case is. I don't trust them. I would have to thoroughly flush out everything as far as investing in Ghana and stuff like that. Just because you hear so many horror stories of Black people being exploited all over the continent and stuff like that. They got a history they got a history of being dirty. Here it is. They've been exploiting what they did to people that were sold to slavery all these years, exploiting the fact of showing them, hey, this is where we sent your people out. This is where we sold them off from. This is the door of no return and all this other stuff. It's just, I would have to thoroughly flush out anything. And you got to build trust first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to invest my money in a situation like that when so many Black people are getting taken advantage of over there. Like the lady said, you have to be over there watching them. Even in America, you got to watch the contractors. But those niggas are some treacherous, You'll sit there and be building up your land, and next thing you know, you got your people come up dead or whatever the case is. Like the lady that came up dead, messing around with one of those guys from out there. So it's a lot of treachery out there, and I have to see a lot more from Ghanaians and Ghana before I would even consider. I don't even think about it investing over there. And I'll end it there. Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you. Okay. Let me go ahead and get to I am. Go ahead. You got it.
What lady got killed over there? And also, I know earlier how China's going there. But let me say something. America literally does the same exact thing. If you get the opportunity, read the book Economic Hitman. Economic Hitman. That's literally the story about America doing it to other people. They're literally just copying what America has been doing for forever. But I would definitely highly recommend reading that book. But yeah, I'd like to know what lady, and I hope you're not talking about that lady a long time ago, because that was over land that she took and didn't have permission to take. So yeah, you got to go read the backstories on a lot of this stuff you're reading, and not to say that things happen everywhere. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna live my life being scared. I walk around with a 9mm semi-auto every single day here in America for fear of somebody doing something to me. Anything can happen, any place, at any time. And I say, enjoy your life. You see what I'm saying? Do what you want to do. Do what you have to do. Do what you need to do. Just enjoy your life. Don't be walking around here scared to go to other countries because something happened years ago. And just because that happened to that person, it doesn't mean it's going to happen to you. Like, come on, people, listen. It's inevitable. We're all going to die. But guess what? I'm going to go down knowing that I enjoyed my life. I traveled. I bought land. I helped my people, and I laughed, and I drank a case of Corona. You know what I'm saying? Enjoy your life. Don't fear monger. You know what I'm saying? Make your own decision based on your own research, based on your own experience. Period. Get a passport. Enjoy your life.
So I'm sorry, Newstoter. I just sent you something I can't share it to the jumbotron because my settings is messed up.
Okay.
But this is why I don't trust Pan-Africanists, because they be so dishonest that it's hard to trust them. You know what I'm saying? They gonna always tell you sunshine and rainbows in Africa. They're not gonna tell you about them niggas that's gonna be scamming you from the time you step off the plane to every little move you make and everything else like that. If we had a more honest viewpoint of things, that would be one thing. But the lady name, she was actually from Detroit. Her name was
Just case. I put it in the purple pill. I posted the article in the purple pill. Yeah, she was 75 years old.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, I put it up there too.
and then they say it's not even uncommon. That's a common thing. And then here's another thing. When here it is, you buy your land in Africa and everything else, you build, you farm, or whatever the case is, until the locals come up and say, hey, you shouldn't be here. So it's the Pan-Africans with the dishonest discourse. Just like they be dishonest about the Africans and their attitudes towards Black Americans here, they be dishonest with Black Americans about what's going on in Africa. So that's yet another barrier. So you can say whatever you want to say, and yes, darling, I do have my passport. Not saying it was directed at me, but I'm just letting you know. But yeah, it's numerous barriers. We could blame China, we could blame the U.S., but we gotta blame them niggas too. And I'll land it there.
I was making a general statement, beloved. I wasn't directing that.
Yeah, I think she knows that you weren't direct. She knows that you were just making a general statement.
That incident was because of stolen land. So that I knew. That's why I knew what you was talking about, because that's the same story that everybody brings up. But that was stolen land. So you gotta do a little bit more research.
Or did you think she was bad free and clear land?
No, she knew the land was not her land. She very much knew that. So like I said, I'm gonna get my
Hey, I am.
Yeah, that conversation.
I am. According to that article, she won in court, and they still killed her.
It's an article, as if all media tells the truth, right? Now we deal with media over here lying every day. So now that it's media from another country and it fits your narrative. Now it's the truth, right? I hear you.
No, I didn't say that, but I said
No, I
according
wouldn't refer
to
to you,
the article.
brother. I wouldn't refer to you. I see the hand.
So it was justified in killing.
And like I said, I'm not sticking up for nothing. This is the same story that everybody brings up that all the time. And I've actually had this conversation several times, a couple of spaces about the same exact story about this lady every single time.
Nope. Go ahead, Miss G, and then I got you, Black Majority State.
Yeah, just for the context, it was even with that court case, it was an actual court case. The cops, this is what my people had the issue with, because the cops, they actually target them, and then they make you pay them right on the spot. Also, when people was going to supermarkets, they get an increase. It's like it costs them more. They have to pay more for food, unless they got somebody else that's from there that goes in there and gets food. We have to pay more. The whole thing is, and it's just for everything. But the cops really target people and pull them over. You think we get pulled over in America? They pull you I don't want to curse because I know you on the other stations, but they will pull you over there, and then you gotta pay that. And they keep pulling you over because they know you're gonna pay, and they know ain't nobody else they gonna pay. So they specifically target our people, and that's not just word of mouth. Like, you can see dozens of people. You can go online and you can see people that had those same issues. But that sister, she really did go to court. She really did get that land back. They slain her. I doubt if she's waited to be 75 to become an espionage in another country, it's still land. Like, you know what I'm saying? But what I wanted to come back and say, what you were saying earlier, Potter, you are absolutely right. You're like, you know what? Why can't we have equal opportunity like everybody else? Well, let's start here. We got to think of our position, at least in their eyes. We know we're the greatest of all things, right? But in their eyes, we're the bottom class of America. It's the top class of these countries that's going and they're investing in these lands. In America, we split America in two. We created a country within a country. That's why every time you go to a state in America, like, we're the black people. Where our people at in the state? And our people actually have a huge representation that everybody want to come to see when they come to this state. Nobody's saying, you know what, I want to go to the rural country when I go to Texas. Everybody's like, no, I want to go to Houston. They really want to go to where our people are. So in reality, we have the biggest monetary opportunity in America because people come here and they visit, right? This is, if there's anything, if it's something for us to monetize, we have everything in this country. I didn't realize how much drinking water, clean drinking water we have in this country compared to every country in the world. Just 30% of the world's water alone is over in, Montana.
The Great Lakes, the Midwest.
Yeah, it's in the Midwest. I come up with the state in a minute. It's the state where that the Ilion, where they changed the flag. Help me out. I can't get it tonight. I'm ready to go to bed. But yeah, we have one state alone that covers like 30% of the country, the world's clean water. Then you got all of these springs all up and down America. If you want to go to the mountains, you go to the Midwest. You want the desert, you go down. You go to Texas and you go to Arizona and all of that. If you want tropical, you go to the Keys. You go to LA. You can go to Hawaii. We have every single thing that people can only get bite-sized pieces of in every other part of this world. That's people are running to this country for those reasons. They like, oh my God, this is This is like the Garden of Eden of the world right now. It's like everything that you could want is in this country. That's why the elites are running their tails over here. And we have an opportunity. We talk about being global. We become global just being internal in the United States. And I want you to take this. You say you want us to do business outside of here. How many Chinese people come into our businesses in America? Can you imagine how many going to come into our businesses outside? The most sabotage we get is from these people in our own country. Imagine what they're going to do to us when we get on their territory. So we have to really look at this, not just war, but also I don't want to say evolution. What's the word?
Revolutionary.
We can be revolutionary in this, and literally, those people went across seas and built schools, and we got schools right now in the cities, and ain't nobody building the schools in our own city, and they can. LeBron did it. You can call it what you like. He did it, and he makes sure it's invested. He keep pouring into it. Kids can go to it and everything. That's stuff here.
Kanye did something like that too.
Yeah, and Kanye. We can do all of this here. Why the hell are we running across seas to where we're an absolute minority? We look. I don't look like. I don't know if anybody else. I say we look like Americans, but I look like here. So when I go there, they know by the way I talk that I'm not them. They treat you accordingly. I know when I go to the hood, I feel good when I'm around my people. Like I feel great when I'm around my people. I know we got open oppressors, but they got whole open oppressors that look just like them too. And then it's their whole entire government that's owned by bigger governments that been wanting to get at our asses. I'll be damned if I'm gonna be over there and I'll be the next set of slavery, like just preparing for that next level of slavery. Because you keep in mind, there's nothing new under the sun. They're doing this rearrangement for a reason. And right now, they got to kill a couple of us and heighten up, look, America's racist, whatever. They're used to that. Because that's not blowing our minds and we're not running. So they'll kill a couple of us and they say, and you're not going to get justice. Now what you going to do? You don't want to go back home? Look at how many white people come on these sets and say, y'all need to go back where you came from. And you people just came here 20, 30, 40 years ago. Mr. Irish man, Mr. Italian man. You know, they're doing that because the easiest way to get us out of here is for us to go forceful, go ourselves. But if they force us, they know it's going to be major consequences. And the key is to win the race to own this land. And that's everybody else gets that but us. We looking and seeing what people are doing, but we're talking about whole countries doing that. Like the people.
The economy would be so fucked up.
Hey, hold on, no cursing. Whoever's talking, I don't know who's talking, but no cursing.
Yeah, but that's it. I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I just wanted to say that. Yeah, I just wanted to say that, Newstoter. We really got to be mindful. Your Newstoter process. Can you imagine going to China trying to do Newstoter work?
Oh no. I think what you're misunderstanding some of what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's a must. I'm saying that I look and I see other nations, other groups. You know, yeah, everybody wants to come to America because America is the place that's most happening in terms of economics, entertainment, culture, this, that, or whatever. So I don't disagree with that. Like, it's a reason why you have all of these people and these corporations and stuff coming over here. But let's not forget at the same time, too, that America also does business in other countries, and these other countries do business in other countries as well, too. You had what is it? Mercedes-Benz is made over there in Germany, yet it's sold over here in America. And now I know they have the plants over here and they manufacture the cars now, and it's not what it was 40, 50 years ago. But nonetheless, all of these Japanese cars and all these other things that became imports here in America and everything else as well, too. We have to remember that there's a lot of different things. That's why you have these trade agreements and everything else. America says, I'll buy from you. China says, okay, we'll buy from you and this and that or whatever. Here, listen, I'm in Florida, and Florida produces more agriculture than any other state except California. But rarely do I go in the stores and we buy orange. Is it the orange says from Florida? No, they take the oranges that were grown here in Florida, and they sell them all over the world and other states and everything else as well too. So what I'm saying is that we have to remember, people, sometimes black people, we say, well, all black people, they make money off of entertainment. Listen, entertainment is an actual export. You can take actual entertainment in this country and ship it all over the world. It's the reason we see all these TikTok videos, and you got kids over there, East Indians dancing and rapping. You got Asians up here rapping. You got Asians over here now. So you got Asians, you got Japanese over here putting down waves in their head, putting waves in their head.
But that's because, keep in mind, the people that come over here are the representation of that country. So
but Miss G, they're doing this over there in China. They're doing this in Japan. What I'm saying is that Black American culture is something that's global. Black Americans know how to create. Black Americans know how to. It's a reason, even that shortly after slavery and stuff, and some of the biggest products and stuff, when they were trying to market it to white people, they had black faces on that. A lot of black people are embarrassed by. We're embarrassed by Uncle Ben's, and we're embarrassed by Aunt Your Mama. We're embarrassed by this and that or whatever. But these white people take black culture, take black looks, take black this, take black that, and sell it and make millions upon billions of dollars off it. What I'm saying is that, hey, I'm not saying that everybody or every company needs to go. I'm saying the same way that all of the people all over the world, it's a reason that you have people from all these different nations coming here and investing. And also, you got American companies that go to Europe and invest over there as well too. So I'm just saying that it's something that as the world is becoming more global and we're all connected economically and globally, it's something to look at. And I'm not saying that it has to be Africa or Europe in particular, but I'm saying that once you get to the point that you can, like some of these other places, have some of these multinational corporations, like Dr. Claude talks about economics and everything else, group economics. I'm saying that you could potentially get to a point that you could have a small economic group, and you can start going to some of these places and stuff like that, and you can start investing and making money not only in America, but also throughout the world as well too, globally as well too.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to tell you. I'm about to shut up too. You thought I wanted, because you are fired up, and this is where I wanted to be, because this goes back to what I said in the first place. We are America's resource. Everybody that come over here, they gain because of what they come into our community and do and get, or they gain from us. Even whether it's medically, whether it's through the justice system, whether it's through the educational system, we are an American resource. And that's the part. When they go to doing their parts with these debts and doing these deals with these countries, we're not in the room with them. But they say, look, we're going to cut you out a little part of Black America. You can have this little piece right here. This is why when you go into our Black communities, you see certain people designated in certain stores, like the liquor stores. You see certain people designated in the nail salons. And if we go and get those same businesses, we get regulated and our stuff constantly gets harassed until it's shut down and fined. That's what they do, because America gives the illusion that we're all included when we're really we're the economic base of the country. We are.
Oh, I want to add something.
And the last thing was back to this, because what you said, Newstoter, we can have that economic base, like what you were saying. But, like a state like California, Florida, Texas, they had economies equivalent to that of a country, right? A small country. So in order to do that, you would have to go with the Black majority state perspective if you wanted to create that type of thing. So it still always starts with us doing it here in America. And that's where I wanted to land.
I want to add something to this conversation.
Hey, real quick. What's your name that's speaking? Because you got to raise your hand. But what's your name?
My ad name is Mitch.
Mitch. Okay, Mitch, because I can't tell. But go ahead, Mitch. I'm gonna let you speak, but just go ahead and raise your hand so we can know. Because when somebody's speaking, we go ahead and let them speak. But go ahead, Mitch, real quick.
I got you. I was gonna say I really like what you guys are talking about. Because a lot of times, I don't hear people speaking about business opportunities abroad or whatever the case is.
like there may be a lot of differences between our country and a lot of other countries that we wouldn't dare, you know, want to be in another place versus America. Because, you know, America is one of the best countries on earth. We got to be completely honest about that. But like you were saying, there is plenty of like opportunity in other places. Like I was speaking to somebody, he's from the East Coast. I think he's Afro-Latino or whatever. That's besides the point. But he was telling me, like, he said he had moved to Asia for like a couple of years back. He's back in the States now. But he was explaining to me that, like, he was like, yeah, bro, like, he was like, honestly, he was like, I was asking, like, you know, how was it? Did you have a hard time adjusting? This, that, and the other. And he was like, nah, man. He was like, that shit was cool. It was like, the culture was cool out there. It was just like, you know, there's a couple of things that, you know, I might not have liked, but in the grand scheme of things, he was like, I was making money. I opened up a business, 2 businesses out there, and one of them was, you know, it was like a little school for kids or whatever. It was a school for teaching them English, like real proper English, you know? Because I think he saw that somebody else was doing it, but they weren't teaching them like real American English, you know? It was like some dude from Europe trying to teach them English, but like there's certain things that he couldn't do being a European, just like teaching them certain dialect or, you know what I'm saying? Like little small things to where he saw opportunity and he was like, you know what, I'm doing this, I'm American. I'm gonna teach them straight from me. I'm gonna take over whatever this dude got going on and this, that, and the other. But it's a lot of room for opportunity in these countries and stuff because, you know, you might feel like what can I offer or what can I bring to the table in this country or, you know, how can I make money? But something as simple as teaching them English, you know, you will get paid. Or importing certain snacks.
Watch your language, but go ahead.
Sorry. I was saying, like, you know, importing certain snacks and things that people are, you know, dying to get or whatever, or try per se, that's only available in the U.S., you know? It's so many things that you could do in other places. I just wanted to add on to that. I like that. That's a part of the conversation right now.
All right.
I don't know if you guys agree with any of the things I said, but
all right, appreciate that, Mitch. Thank you. Real quick, I got a super chat for Chosen 619. He says, Ghana used to have the most slave trader tribes. I see F. Ray says these West African countries are parasites. Marquis says he would go to Ethiopia because they were the first in America to tell us to come to Ethiopia. So I guess he said he would go to Ethiopia as well too. Let me go ahead. I see we got another speaker up here, but I can't tell what your name is. Brawley Shogun. I can see part of your. I'm not sure exactly. You got your hand up.
Yeah, appreciate you, Broly. My name is Ali. I appreciate the space. I think it's a good conversation. I just want to touch on a couple things. Well, one is the root of all this is that the reason people are looking for someplace to go is because we have been, through means of propaganda and what I would call a type of psychological warfare, we have been sort of mentally dispossessed of America to make us feel as though we are not home here, and we are. To that point, while we're looking for someplace to go, we have not only a country but a region. I'm looking at the southern United States, and I'm like, I'm thinking about it, I'm like, why do we ever leave the South? We've got 8 to maybe even 12 states where we are a heavy portion of the population, and we could basically create what we're looking to leave and find. I think if we would just kind of look, it's been closer than we realized this whole time. So while we're thinking about migrating back, not even back to Africa, there's really no place back to Africa that we can go because, my father is older than every country in Africa. So where are we really going over there? Whereas when I look at, Tennessee, Alabama,
even like Maryland, Delaware, Virginia, these states. It's like, look at all these universities, all of this real estate, this land. We've got farmland, we've got existing infrastructure, and not only that. Okay, so we as an ethnic group, I've seen estimates between 40 and 50 million. That would make us either the largest or the second largest ethnic group in the country when you just aggregate race. So I'm picturing a situation where, let's say we reverse migrate back to the south, the southeast, the mid-Atlantic. Now we've got real political leverage to where we can have governors, we can have county sheriffs. I think that's the solution to police brutality. I mean, put yourself in power where you're at. You're not about to go to another country and take over their political system. That's not going to happen. You're going to get genocided just for even thinking about it. Whereas over here, it's like, look at, okay, I like to use Delaware for an example because it's small. There's 1 million people in Delaware. 30% of them are Black American, American Negro, whatever word we're using now. There's only 3 counties in Delaware. So that means we can have 3 county sheriffs, the mayors of the cities. I think Wilmington is about 60% of us, which, I mean, that's significant. Now, you extrapolate that model across the whole region, and now we become the determining factor in pretty much every presidential election. I mean, that's what, 16 to 24 senators, governors. I don't even know how many Congress people that is, but that's real power, and that's something that we can do here. I think we're too focused on federal government and who is the president and what they look like a symbolic sort of consolation prize, whereas the real power in American politics lies at the local and state level. So I think we have the right motivation and inclination, but I think the way to execute it in the wrong way. And I'll land there. Yeah, I just think we can do what we're trying to do right here in this country and in that southern region. I mean, I'm okay. So I live in Chicago right now, and I'm sitting here. There's ice on the ground, there's snow outside. I'm thinking back to my grandfather, like, hey man, I love you, but why did we come here? You know what I'm saying? We had everything we needed right where we were at. So that's something I'm looking to do within the coming years is return to the South. I got a few different places in mind, but I just wanted to share my thoughts on that. Thank you.
All right, appreciate that. I'm gonna get to Mark, and then I'm gonna get to you, Black Majority State, as well. Too, Mark, go ahead and unmute your mic.
I want to ask the question: does it make good sense that we leave the place we built to go to the place that sold us?
I mean,
literally the place that sold us.
You got to think though.
Hey, Mitch, you got it. While he's speaking, let him go ahead and speak. Stay on your microphone. Once he's through, we'll get to you, but let him go ahead and speak. But go ahead, Mark.
So if you notice, the Ashanti tribe that sold us to slavery is coming to America. Why the hell would we go to Africa? On top of that, the Pan-Africanists who've been pushing, starting to Ron Daniels, about 80-some years old now, who's been pushing for you to go to Africa, why he ain't made it there yet? What? It's a disrespect to our people that fought and died and that built this country for us to get up and go back to the place that sold us. That's a total disrespect. This is where I'm from, and this is where I'm going to stay. This is where I'm going to build. This is my shit. Your shit. But y'all been listening to a bunch of old-ass people who have fear in them and have subordinated themselves down to a job to the point to where where y'all young people get this shit from? That's really what I want to really find out. Which language. Who taught y'all this back shit? What scared motherfucker?
Yeah, language for real, Mark. Come on.
What scared person in your family told you to go to the place that sold you? To do it. I mean, the only thing I'll do in Africa is business. And then get back to my country. And anybody don't believe that this is their country, then leave tonight. You don't get it. This is your country. You created the system of America. Didn't no white boy create no system in America. Ain't invented nothing or anything. You did it. And now you want to give it up? To go to a subculture?
All right, appreciate that, Mark. Let me go ahead and get to Black. Go ahead and unmute your mic, and then I'm gonna get to you, Mitch.
Okay. Let me say, man, I don't know who that was. Broly, Shogun. Shout out to that brother because I agree with everything he said. Obvious. But no, I came up. I put two in the jumbotron, a bunch in the purple pill, and the one is according to Cornbread Mafioso. This is or Mafioso. I'm sorry. This is actually some little town, village in Ghana where the locals are burning down everything around them, and you don't see any. They're not sad. There's no sadness in what they look like. There's little kids walking around. Everything around is burning down. So I don't know what that's about. But again, I say do your due diligence. There was this light skinned actor, and he's got a beautiful wife. They've been actors. I can't remember what they've been. Probably some Tyler Perry movies. But they were doing this Return to Africa Summit thing. I think he actually runs it or something like that from a couple of months ago. And I think he does it annually. So, maybe people who are interested in that can tap into that. Like Mark said, if you are not interested in being an American and you don't have any desire to help Black American Negro descendants, especially build on this land, then I do invite people to take that trip, take that flight. Whenever I'm in conversations with folks, I do suggest that they take that flight. But on the investment part, if your thought is I'm just going to be an investor, then I got to highlight what Miss G said. When she said they're representatives, it goes a little bit deeper than that. They are legitimate officials within the governments of their countries. Not like how we may be a member of a political party in America. You might be a registered Democrat, and you may go to some functions. It's completely different. When those Chinese nationals come over here and they're buying up property and they're doing this, that, and the other, or they go into Africa and they do the same, they are operating under the authority of their government, and that's why they get the protection for the things that they do. Being a Black American as an individual going over to some foreign country, much like Brittany Griner is her name, when she was traveling around and playing basketball all over Europe, and then she always had her vape pen with her, and then because of the political climate has changed, that country decided to use her as a bargaining chip to get out the Lord of War, who's the guy who basically was one of the most notorious arms dealers on the planet. So you gotta be very careful on what situations you put yourself in, because again, traveling all around the planet, and the politics can shift very quickly. And we know, unfortunately, sub-Saharan Africa, they have coups, they have them it's almost like an annual event in some of these countries. So I would just say, again, be very careful, and then understand the structure of the government. Understand if it's a totalitarian dictatorship, if it's a paper democracy, who's the leading party, because there's probably 20 different political parties, if not more, but who actually is the top two competing political parties. Get a sense of what that looks like, because again, depending on where you're buying land, you want to understand what the political leanings are in that territory, if it's in favor of the current government or if it's in opposition. There's a lot of dynamics to it. So I just wanted to add that, and I'll land with that.
I agree with you. I said the same thing earlier. That Constitution of that country must protect us as well as them.
All right. Real quick, let me get to Mitch, and then I'm gonna get to you, Tyrell, if I'm mispronouncing your name. Go ahead, Mitch, real quick, and then I'm gonna get to Ty.
Okay, I'll be brief. I agree with both of the two last speakers. I understand you guys' viewpoints, and what the last speaker definitely said that I agree with. Gary King Black State, I think that's your name, is definitely sharpening yourself up on laws if you're going to go somewhere, because it's very serious. You can make a simple mistake like Brittany and end up in fucking jail or whatever the hell for some shit that you thought was totally okay because of where you're from. But it don't work like that, you know. But the thing I will say to add to the speaker prior to the last one is that, you know, I respect everything you said and I understand your viewpoints. But like, you know, sometimes when we're making decisions, we have to separate how we feel, you know, from how we are logically trying to make a decision. You know, I feel like there is plenty of opportunity in these other places that, you know, bringing like that Americanness, you know, you can really thrive, or you can at least just check it out and see if there's any real opportunity there. But the thing I was gonna say, the one thing I really wanted to say is like, you're not really giving up anything, you know. You're not giving up your Americanness or your right to being here and this is your home, you know. You are always gonna be an American by documentation, by, you know, hundreds of years of lineage and so on and so forth. You know, you can experiment in these other places before you ever make a final decision, you know. And you're not really ever gonna have to give up home, you know. 'Cause you got plenty of people. I'm sure you got family, this, that, whatever the case is. And on another note, you can still be making moves here through the people that you have in your group or family, you know, whatever the case is. So I feel like if there's any worries about like missing out on stuff, just, you know, not being included or being a part of something, I feel like, you know, that's not even really a reality. Like, because you're always going to be American off tops. But yeah, I don't know if anybody has anything in response to that.
All right, thank you. I'm gonna get to Ty and I'm gonna get to Mark. They're gonna be the last two speakers of the night. I don't know what's going on in some of these chats that we got here too. People kind of crashing out as well. So let me go ahead and get to Ty. I'm gonna get to Mark and then we're gonna go ahead and close this thing out for the night because we will be back tomorrow with a good space tomorrow night as well. Too, y'all need to catch that. I'm gonna tweet that out tomorrow, but definitely be on hand for that one. This should be making pretty interesting conversation. How do you say your name? Is it Tyrell? Tyrell. Okay, go ahead, Ty. How you doing?
All right, how you doing, my guy?
Pretty good.
I'd just like to end the space with this, which is this. There's a lot of tribalism going on there in Africa, and I think we should stay here and build here. It doesn't make any sense for us to pack all our bags up and just leave and go there. And if it was something that they could do or that we could do there that they're not already doing, that we couldn't do here, they would be doing it already. We will be doing it already. And I think this is the big misconception behind what Ghana is trying to do. And I'll just land my plane with that.
All right, appreciate that. Thank you. Mark, I'm gonna let you be the last speaker for the night, and then we're gonna go ahead and close it out. But go ahead, you got it.
Well, last I checked, the African leaders came during the pandemic to give the resources back to America. You're talking, what, 2022, 2021, when they were here? And I guess the brother didn't hear what I said. I said we can do business over there. But to get up and move there, why? I mean, do y'all see all the people that are coming to America? A lot of them that y'all call it white, they are not those that initially came to this country. They're the people that came after you made cotton king. After you laid the basis for what they call it, Wall Street. And a lot of conversations that y'all have with these people on these apps,
before y'all have conversations, ask them, are you a descendant of slave owners? 99% of them will tell you no. These Africans, these Jews, the Mexicans, the Irish, the Italians, they all the same people. Parasites come to blood suck off of what our people created in this country. There ain't no supreme nothing. And y'all started getting them mixed up with the people that came, or should I say that were that descended. I mean that y'all getting them mixed up with those that had those slave ships and conducted all this slavery in this country. These are parasites that y'all be talking to. Africans are parasites in America. Irish, Italians, Jews, these are parasites. You are the supreme, not them. Then you don't let them switch it up on you and get you thinking that you subordinate to them. That's why you run around here calling yourself Black Greeks and all this kind of stuff. Because you don't know who you are. I'm talking about you who you are in this country. What you come from in this country. I'm not going no Ghana to live. What am I living with the Shanties that sold us? Or go across the street and live with the Igbos and the Yorubas and the Igos that sold us? I'm not putting on no dashiki or none of that. When they put us in the bottom of them slave ships, they killed, we died. Coming across those waters, I ain't got no connection to them when this going on.
All right. Appreciate that, Mark. Appreciate that, Mitch. I mean, we're going to go ahead and we're going to get ready. I'm going to let DJ go ahead and get it, and then we're going to go ahead and close this one out. DJ, you want to say something real quick?
You already know next space, but I'm not saying that we can't do business with anyone because it is a global economy and we need to start doing trade with other countries. I think the problem is that we rely too much on the United States government to try to maybe attempt to do that business for us. As you see, Sister I Am, she went on her own accord, found a group of folks, got with them, got some land over there. But the one thing is I want to know is why aren't you actually trying to develop the land, or is it that it has to be so much of a group pack, or is it that you're just not looking to develop it versus just, hey, I'm just playing my part as a Black Diaspora and whatever you want to look at it, and we just helping out the country or something, because at the end of the day, letting it sit there, that ain't going to generate no wealth, you know what I mean? And it would be the same thing over here. If you buy land over here and you just sitting on it and ain't doing nothing with it when everything is being developed right now, you know what I mean? So much development going on, that's why you see traffic in your neighborhood. But it's not being developed in Black America, that's the problem. And it makes no sense for us to go anywhere out of this country when our ancestors and elders done did so much in this country and we haven't even touched a percentage of it. We haven't even gotten our piece of the pie under any circumstances. This is why we're fighting for reparations. So I definitely agree with my sister, Miss G. This is why she's my twin, but Jersey still have been in the BMO Club. Don't be mad, sister. We terrorizing that all day. You know what I'm saying? But we need to start building here more, man. We need to start finding a way to be on accord with each other and start opening up some businesses. And don't let the government interfere with us. We understand that what they do at this point, white supremacy 101. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother, BMO Codified. So with that being said, let's go and get on to the next space. I got some ideas. I ain't saying I know everything, but I just know what I know. I'll let your boy Newstoter up.
Yeah, that's what's up, y'all. DJ's got the part 2 of this space coming up, late night space. So y'all check him out. Let me give a shout out to DJ and Original and all you guys that came up here, all the speakers tonight as well too. Very interesting topic. Hopefully we can start getting more and more involvement. Certain topics seem to bring out more people speaking as well too. I figure this would be one of those ones here. So hopefully we can get more people to come up and speak as well too. So shout out to all the speakers, the listeners. Shout out to my people over there on YouTube as well too, guys. Thank you for holding it down over there. We will be back tomorrow night, guys. Make sure y'all check out the late night space that DJ and Original Professor and them going to have as well, too. I see my girl Rella. I'm surprised Rella didn't come up here and speak tonight, but shout out to you anyways, Miss Rella. I'll get up with you the next time, I guess. Go ahead, DJ. You want to say something real quick?
Actually, I just wanted to add one thing in the context, because we do talk about our Black state information and trying to analyze population and geographic growth. So Ghana's got the exact same amount of people we got over here. So if we go over there, guess what? We pretty much just gonna take it over, because y'all can't hold down your own phone for what you think we gonna do when we get over there. And they ain't gonna like that. You know what I'm saying? Just as well as we don't like when they come over here and the government just give them handouts and don't help us, the citizens that's here. So maybe Charleston White do got a point. White people are our best friends.
I don't think so, but that's another space for another night. I don't think so. I'm gonna be straight up with that.
Hey, look, come to baby in the next week.
Wait, did he say white people are?
That's what Charleston White said. But I mean, you know, I'm sure you got some people on the app. I've seen some spaces where some people believe that, but I'm gonna tell you straight up, this ain't one that believes it right here. So I mean, hey, so I'm never co-signing that. I'm sorry, but we've all seen, heard, read the damage that's been done by a certain group. So I don't even know what nobody say about that. I don't care if you Democrat, Republican, Independent, or whatever, Christian, Jew, Muslim, Arab, whatever you are, Buddhist, atheist. I don't care who you are. If you go along and you believe that right there, then hey, you know, I got some beachfront property to sell you next to the Everglades down here in Florida. And by the way, speaking of Florida, it is going to be in the high 20s tomorrow morning here in Tallahassee, low 30s. It's already like 40 degrees. It's already cold as hell. Let me give a shout out to my girl, Miss G, as well, too. I see she just dropped the Cash App, so shout out to you as well. Tomorrow night, guys, we're going to have a very interesting space as well, too. Holy crap. Guess who's trying to come up here? Apia, Apia. DJ got a space coming up, so go in there. I wish you could have came earlier, but I mean, go in DJ space. They got one later on tonight. DJ gonna be doing a part 2, so it should be interesting. On that note, we finna go ahead and sign out, guys. We will see you tomorrow night. Peace, be safe, and we'll see you tomorrow night, guys, around 8 o'clock.